What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another Content is King. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about self-confidence. We're going to be talking about why it's important, what it is, how to even build your confidence. And now note, not everything that we're going to talk about might work for you, but we're going to do our best to help you out as best we can. So that being said, let's just jump right on into it. So with me today, I actually have the Roche from Twitch. So twitch.tv/the Roche. His link will be down below in the show notes. Pretty awesome dude. Been friends with him for a while. Got him to come on and talk about some confidence. He was very interested and wanted to do that. So I'm glad to have him. So make sure you have a warm welcome with him and go follow him on all his social medias, or somebody's going to find you. I don't know if it'll be me. It might be him, but it's going to happen. So, Ro, if you would like to introduce yourself, please do.
As Gil said, I'm the Roche. I've been streaming off and on now for about 3 years. Lately, not so much due to capabilities, but I am a Destiny streamer. I have been since I first started streaming, and it's kind of just been my niche. So I've always, tried to have that content that was good for everyone. And the reason I wanted to come on and help with this confidence pod, because it's been a big problem of mine in the past, and I know it's a big problem for a lot of people, and I just want to reach out and try to help other people that might have better.
And that'll be our goal of the day, is to help you guys out as best we can, because I'm somebody that also still struggles with confidence. And so we're gonna talk about it. I know why confidence is so important, but building it up is the thing that's probably the toughest, in all honesty. And so, but we're gonna start off. I want to give you guys a quick, easy Bing search of what self-confidence is. And I know I was thinking about the fact that somebody's gonna be like, "Wow, he used Bing," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's because I get points for it."
Yes, sir.
Slowly, the only reason to use Bing is I get free points from it. So by definition, self-confidence is a feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. Which are pretty big things, right? Like, especially if you're going into content creating, you need to kind of know yourself. You need to know what qualities you're bringing to the table. You need to know what abilities you have. And then you also have to be making quick snap judgments on both people, on games, on business decisions, on content decisions, all the time. And so it's honestly like, and now, no, you can actually have, I've noticed this myself, is you can have confidence in some of those spots, but not actually in all of those spots. And that would be hard, right? Like you're not very well rounded on that. So that's one thing that we really need to, I want to push for, is how all of those kind of matter. And not just like one. Like, you might be a really good judge of being like, that guy's a terrible human being, I'm going to ban him from my chat. Or, man, this game is going to do really well. But if you're not confident in your ability to bring good content out of it, then it's going to do this thing of, you're not going to end up bringing good content out of it, which is going to be tough.
Right, and which brings up a good point, is words. How you say something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's how that's perceived by others, and that's a big thing when it comes to all that.
Massive. And it's also going to be one of the future things we talk about, not necessarily words, but like why you do something versus what are you doing, is actually going to be another thing, which also is going to stem some from this confidence stuff. So that being said, the big thing that we need to talk about first is, why is it important? So, Ro, will you take that away real quick? Why is confidence important?
So confidence is important. Let's say you go into a Twitch channel for the first time. It's kind of lower on their Twitch Mixer, you either way. I think when you go in there and you see someone kind of stumbling and not knowing what they're talking about, or basically maybe getting frustrated with like a player versus player game, or was frustrated with PvE content, you can tell like that their confidence level it's low, because they're like, man, I think I should do it better. I don't know what I'm doing. And when you watch that as a viewer, you're like, well, they might be cool and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and go somewhere else. And I think when it comes down to it, being confident is important, because it makes it so, you can be educational. You know what you're talking about. People can ask you questions. You know exactly what your answer is going to be. So basically come to you as advice. People can come to you, whether it's streaming or being just a friend, and, they can vent to you, and you could be confident with answers to them. And I think it's important as a whole for self-confidence and being confident to other people, because it makes everything better. It makes life easier. It makes gaming easier. And just all around, I believe, it makes it better.
I would agree with that. I think, me personally, I think it's important because of all the stuff that we do. Like, it's a leadership skill, right? And you can't really make a community without being a leader of it, in some way, shape, or form. And so, depending on what you're going for in any field, from, I'm just doing this to get quick, easy money, to but that doesn't happen, but that's a different problem for a different day to discuss.
Right.
As well as going to the opposite end of being like, I just want to build a spot where I can have people around. Well, finding people of like mind, if you're not confident in your abilities to do things, then they can't necessarily trust you. And it helps build trust, having that confidence and stuff. Because, and that's the thing, like, that's why you can have confidence in multiple areas of your life. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing if you don't, but there are some things that will bleed into others. Like for me, I don't have a lot of confidence in myself, just because I don't see the worth from things that I do, but I constantly get told that I do have good ideas, that I'm bringing good things to the table. And so I'm trying to believe in myself more.
To have good ideas and accept confidence.
So, but that's the big thing. And then the next thing that we're going to bring up, which is actually a really good idea about it. And Ro did talk about confidence being educational. So we're going to hit on that in a little bit. But first, like, having confidence without having pride. And I say pride as in, like, not like, it's good to have a certain amount of self-pride. Like, there is a certain amount. I guess what I mean to be is being egotistical. Like, having confidence without letting your ego take away. Because if you are good and you are God's gift to earth and you let everybody know it, then they don't want to be around you because you're annoyingly God's gift to earth. And it comes off as pushy and rude to be like, I am the best all the time. Like, there's a nice balance of it. Like, there's no problem with you believing that you're the best to make yourself feel better, but always outwardly saying it, like, in a way of arrogance, can be off-putting. I think that's a good term.
Right. Absolutely. And it goes down to, like, let's say you're in a player match, and, you play certain games like COD, Destiny, and let's just face it, there are metas. There are things that people use that are stronger than other things. And yes, they may be, what someone called cheeky, or like, just, going out of the bounds of the regular norm of a player game. But instead of, like, if you lost to a team that used that, being aggravated, saying, oh, they're only one, this, that, it comes back to just, you dial yourself back. And if you're confident, you basically, you lose, and you're like, okay, it was a good match. And basically you're confident inside, basically saying, hey, that if things would have went a certain other way, you would have got it. But you're not going to be arrogant about it. You're not going to, verbally say it and come off as basically
a horse's butt.
A horse's butt. Exactly.
Yeah. So, you got to watch out for them Aaron tells in the Crucible. Sorry,
Anyway.
That's all I could think about when you were saying that. I was like, oh no, Ro, I've seen some games where you lost to an Aaron tail, man.
Dude, okay. I'm not perfect either.
No, it was just to make me laugh. It just made me laugh. That's all. But no, that he's exactly right. It's one of those things of being able to dial back. Like, having rage is fine, and there's nothing wrong with being mad. I don't like being mad on stream because I can get out of control and get very, very aggressive, and I don't like being aggressive. It's just one of my character traits that I do not like, and I try to subdue in different ways, and try to make sure that I keep a very chill and happier vibe, because that's me personally. That's what I like. But the other thing is, when you go into it, like, if you think about it as a way from education, which is our next topic, is if you're overly confident, people will see you as a know-it-all. which then I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like talking to know-it-alls. They're tough to talk to. And it always comes back to be thrown in the face of, haha, I'm right, you're wrong. The other thing about it is, if you have no confidence whatsoever, how can I trust that you know what you're talking about in X, Y, and Z? One of the reasons I think I thrive as a teacher is I know that I know physics. And the things that I don't know, I'm very open about. But what I do know and what I teach, I'm very confident about. I know that I know how to do it, and I do it well. And that's fine. And I know that, and it's great. I'm not pompous about it. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I'll be honest. I look at the kids. I'll be like, I know this stuff, and I know that you don't know this stuff. So I need you to trust me on it. Which is a very different aspect of things than just even in gameplay and whatnot. Because when you come down to that, as well as there is also another aspect where confidence can actually help teach you things, which I think is more of what Ro was getting at. But having it in a sense of trying to be a spot where you're giving out information, you have to know your information and be able to prove that you know that kind of stuff. But I'm going to let Ro talk about how the other side of that, because I know that he wanted to talk about how having confidence can actually teach you things, is what I'm guessing you were getting at with what you told me.
Basically, I was getting a little bit of both. Like, having confidence will teach things. Even from, like I said, I had to build up my confidence before having confidence. When it comes to video games or even streaming or anything, it's a very big opinionated pool. Fancy word, opinionated, for me. Anyway, but it is, though. Like I said, there's so-called metas during something. But that doesn't mean somebody can't use a weapon and never take it off. And basically it's low tier considered, but they can use it, get good with it, and basically now they're confident with the weapon.
Yes.
But when it comes down to it, what confidence does is, when confidence becomes educational. When confidence becomes educational, you know the ins and outs of weapons. You know the ins and outs of map. You know the ins and outs of, just the knowledge of everything. And you put it all together. And I think when you know all of that, you can consider yourself being confident that this is how it is. There is going to be, speculations, opinions, and all that. But this is my version of confidence. Because there's not just one version of confidence.
Yep.
There just isn't. It's all up to interpretation, which, let's place that 90% of life is up to interpretation.
It's very true.
It's exactly what it is.
Very true.
So that's my take on it.
Now, my question for you, Ro, is confidence the same for every single person? Like, is it the same way to do it?
No. Like, if I had 3 different people come to me, how can I build my confidence? Literally, it would be a different answer for each person, depending on what they told me about themselves. It's exactly what I would say.
Because the thing is, it really depends on where you're struggling and what you struggle at.
Exactly.
One of my coworkers actually said that the way to build confidence is, if you build others up, then you'll build yourself up. Because obviously, if you're willing to put in the amount of effort and time to build others up, then you're going to want to do the same for yourself, which is one school of thought. And there is nothing wrong with that school of thought. I am the exact opposite. I actually build others up so much that I let myself get neglected. And I don't want to build myself up because I don't see a point in building myself up, but I like making other people happy. And so for me, one of the things that I need to work on is being okay with myself and building myself up and understanding that I am a smoking piece of bacon that just came off the fryer. And like, those are the things. Like, there's different styles for every person, and not everybody's going to have the same. Like, we have generic advice to help, and we have generic ways to talk about it and what it is and everything like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. And it's just like, how people accept constructive criticism, to pull us right into our next one for us. If some people let that go to heart and they let it change everything about their content because they weren't confident in their content, and they think, oh, this one person's trying to help me and they're trying to tell me, and maybe the person is trying to help. But a lot of those things is also being able to understand and knowing that what you're doing, if you're enjoying what you're doing, don't let anything else that anybody else says stop you from doing what you love doing, or let you stop you from being confident in what you're doing, or pushing out the content that feels good to you because somebody else has some constructive criticism. And sometimes the constructive criticism is, you know, you're terrible, go live in a trash can, which for the internet is still constructive criticism, I guess. It's not good. But you shouldn't let things even like that come in and stop you if you know that what you're doing is awesome and you're putting in your best effort for it.
Oh, exactly. And after a while, like you'll have that things on the internet, people come in and say that, and instead of that bringing you down, it actually builds you up and it gives you fire.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Because you're like, heck yeah,
used to be,
let's do it.
I'm like, you know, because I'm confident. Like, no, I know I'm not trash. No, I'm not this. It's you get. It's not. Like I said, it's a fine line between arrogance and confidence.
Yeah.
And when you're defending yourself, I don't think that's it.
No, confidence. I don't either. I think that pushes into confidence because you know your worth and you know what you're worth doing.
Exactly.
Because and that's the other thing is like this is even something on the list, but I just thought about like having a certain amount of confidence can also help you work with different companies and everything like that. Yep. Because if you're confident in what you're doing and you know that you're giving out good stuff and you're doing a good job, well, they're gonna trust you on that. They're gonna be like, they're doing good. I like it. You know, and if you're confident in what you're bringing out to people, then they're also going to enjoy what you're bringing out to them. But that kind of brings us to like, I guess, you know, we talked a lot about what it is and what to kind of like, not even necessarily to avoid, but just kind of how we view confidence and stuff. But the big thing, and I think it's the thing that probably most people need help with, and it's probably why you've listened to this long, which I appreciate, but how to build confidence. And so the things that I find that help me build my confidence is putting time into things I care about, whether that be relationships. I started rock climbing. I really love that. It's made me feel better about myself. You know, I'm working out some more. I'm finding definition in muscles that I've never had before, which is really cool for me. And so there's that aspect of putting that in because I'm also seeing something come out of that time. I've been putting a lot of time into my YouTube. Every single video that since I've been putting a lot of time in has been coming back out with, you know, 10, 20 views. And it, you know, yeah, it's a starting point, but it feels good. It feels really good to have these people like wanting to watch my stuff, liking my videos, and it's helping build myself back up and helping build what I'm trying to do back up. And then it also leads into being comfortable with yourself. If you don't like spending time with yourself, find out why. What can you change about that? I know that's one thing that I also struggle with. I don't like being alone. I very much struggle with that. Not.
I'm the same way.
I don't like being in a house by myself. And it's not like oh my gosh, Kill's lonely because he's single. No, that's not it. Like I don't like being alone physically. Like people like my buddy Raj, he's been coming and hanging out with me the past few days. It's been wonderful because I've had somebody to hang out with. Like it's another presence in the room. And that is just astronomically better than like never having anybody around. And it's such a different feeling. And it actually, it's tough because I know that for me is a problem because like I need to be able to work on being comfortable with just me around. I need to be okay with it being silent and me just being there. And I'm working on it. I'm actually getting a lot better at it. But I also have to balance it because I know myself. So I have to balance it with going out and doing things like going and sitting in a coffee shop on my days off from streaming to get work done, to work on school stuff, to work on content stuff, whatever I can to help me kind of grow and feel better. And so that's kind of the stuff that I've been doing.
It's pretty much, you just take it like this. You treat yourself, your personality, the things you do, everything, you treat it like a book.
It's true.
You basically have to pick up your book and you got to reread it.
You don't.
And you got to see where everything lies, what needs to happen, you know. And I feel like that's what I've done. That's what you're doing. And that's what you've done.
It takes active change. You have to want it. Like nobody can force you to have it.
No.
You have to want to have it. Like, and that's the thing. Like it comes down to like, if you're nervous about doing something in public, do it at home. a bunch. Like what was given to me was an example of like a swimsuit season. If you hate being in that bikini, or mankini, whatever it is, if you hate doing that and you hate the idea of people seeing you like that in public, well, just do it at home a bunch until like it's like second nature, because you can start to be like, it's okay. One, nobody can see me, and then like you get comfortable and you're like, whatever. It's just a banana hammock. Nobody's gonna care, but everybody will care. That's a lie. But I mean, it's the fact of like it won't matter if everybody cares, because you're like, it's whatever. It's cool. It's fine with me, and you're living your life and doing what you want. Which is a big thing, to push yourself to be able to do something at home that you might want to do at public. It's big. It can actually help you out a lot in growth, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd totally wear a banana hammock to GCX.
I would not. I would not. But I would be the kind of guy to wear a hoodie with nothing under it, though, because that's who I am.
Exactly.
Because like that's what I do all the time at home. I just wear hoodies. And then people are like, oh, I'm like, oh man, it's a little warm. They're like, oh, well, you should take off your hoodie. I was like, yeah, that's probably not a great idea. So, oh well. But I mean, that's just, you get comfortable in what you do at home because there's nobody around, and it helps you to feel comfortable when you go out. Like I can go out exactly how I am right now. I've gone out in sleep shorts. The only thing I won't do is I'm okay with wearing a dress at home. I can't get myself to wear a dress in public. That's probably the only spot where I can't fully say that I'm okay with that.
My wife would say that I'm like to wear robes at home, and not my robe.
Oh,
silky satin robe.
Nothing is wrong with that. So, I know again this is another shorter week, but that's okay. But we just want to leave you guys with this. Develop what it is for you. Figure out where you're struggling. Surround yourself with people that will help you to thrive, and then just work on building yourself up. Figure out what it is. Use the internet. Meditate. There's plenty of different ways and plenty of options out there to help you build confidence. But if you have that confidence, you'll start to see yourself grow because you're happy with your content. And if you're happy with your content, you're going to make better content. If you're happy with the relationships that you make, you're going to make better and stronger relationships. If you're happy with yourself, like it comes all around. And if you're happy with yourself, you might not have to worry about as much anxiety. You might not have to worry about as much depression or any of your other mental illnesses, because having yourself in a positive mental state actually will help you to stay more positive in trying times. And I think that confidence is a very big thing there, is knowing that you're always going to be able to get back up on your feet and always going to be able to go and do what you need to do. So I hope you guys did get something out of this today. That being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay awesome and do great things. If you're watching on YouTube, please do all the wonderful like, comment, subscribe things. But that's all I've got. Ro, do you have anything else?
I will leave this. This is my number one thing. And it doesn't really, it goes with confidence. It goes with pretty much every aspect of your life. And that's patience. Have patience. You aren't going to go be confident right away. You're going to see the times that you're not. You're going to know what you feel is.
It's true.
But be patient. Let's say someone's just started streaming and your viewers are low, stuff like that. You don't think content. You just be patient. Work on yourself. Work on your stream. Work on you, and the rest will come. And when it comes, glorious, and you keep on striving.
Yeah, and it takes time to build good things. So.
Exactly.
Again, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay awesome. Do great things. Catch you guys in the next one. Adios.